Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. I think this is episode, I want to say 6, maybe 5 or 6. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. We're almost a whole week into the new format and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so I'm probably going to be switching teams relatively soon. Getting to the like mid 1600s with this team would be nice enough, and then we'll switch to something new. Obviously, you know, there aren't too many people that have been playing the ladder right now, just because obviously everyone needs to get their teams in game and whatnot, but it has been really fun so far, and I have enjoyed using this team a lot. I think my play hasn't been extraordinarily well, and I'm still really trying to get used to the new timer. Like, commentating when you're trying to play with a 5-minute timer is pretty tough, but no excuses to that. Obviously, it's just a learning lesson, so it should be a fun run, and I am looking forward to the next couple of episodes with this team, and then I'll switch to a brand new team probably in 3 or 4 days. So you guys can look forward to that, but hopefully you guys have been enjoying the return of daily uploads. I've had a lot of fun doing them, and the support on the videos have been awesome, so keep it up, guys. As always, if you guys enjoy Road Train, please share your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. It'd be cool if we could get like 1,000 likes or whatever, but yeah, I am doing my best to still get these to you guys daily, so appreciate you guys watching them. Anyway, Gardevoir, Landorus, Zapdos, Feeny, Aegislash, and the Incineroar. I believe that's the exact 6 Pokemon that we used on the QR code team for Battle Spot Trouble. So I'm gonna guess this is the exact team. And to be honest, I don't exactly remember the details of that team. I want to say it was like what, Band Landorus, AV, Incineroar, Wikiberry, Feeny, Life Orb, Aegislash with HP Ice, Electrium Z, Zapdos, and Gardevoir. That sounds right, yeah. The Aegislash is really the concern then, if I remember that correctly. I think the Gardevoir had Trick Room too, which I'm really scared of. I might actually lead. No. Okay, actually, Salaman's Aegislash makes sense here. Yeah, but we could just see Incineroar Zapdos, but that's kind of risky leading into that. Ugh, nah, I feel like I need something against that. Darn it, I'm gonna go with Tyranitar, Aegislash, and Excadrill probably. Rotom is really good here too. I actually don't like my matchup very much here, but we'll see. Yeah, this team has been really fun to use. I don't think I have like the perfect version of Sand by any means, but it's just got a lot of familiar tools, and you know, I figured first team in VGC 18 might as well try out Rotom-Wash, and it hasn't disappointed. It's been really good, especially with the prevalence of Landorus, which is one of the reasons why I like Rotom-Wash a lot. But it's Landorus Zapdos. Okay. What did I lead with again? Salaman's T-Tar. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. It's just Hyper Voice Rock Slide wouldn't knock out either of these. I could Hyper Voice Ice Punch. That's Ban Landorus, if I remember correctly. Zapdos could Tailwind here, though. Like, it probably Tailwinds. And then Gardevoir could come in and eat me alive. So maybe I Tailwind and I switch out. Okay, I'll definitely Tailwind here. Just, what do I want to do with Tyranitar? I could just Ice Punch Landorus. Or I could just Rock Slide. I'm honestly leaning more towards Rock Slide, because then both Pokemon might be in Hyper Voice Rock Slide KO range if Excadrill gets to come in. And I could flinch. Do I need the guaranteed damage onto Landorus? I don't think so, especially because I do remember it to be banded. Alright, I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide, because if I flinch either, that puts me in a really good position. If I don't, that's also fine. That's the thing with Scarf Rock Slide. But no switch outs here, yeah. My opponent should know I'm Scarfed, though. I could have Ice Punched. I could have, like, Hyper Voice Ice Punch, but I just can't let Gardevoir come in and start spamming Hyper Voice. And I would like to get some damage off against the Zapdos. I missed the Landorus, which sucks. But that's one of the risks, obviously, if I'm using Rock Slide right there. That still does over 50% of Zapdos, jeez. Doesn't flinch. Zapdos does get Tailwind up. Yep, that's fine. What does Landorus go for? Oh, U-turns. Banned U-turn should have knocked me out. Yeah, it does over 50%, but I'll take that trade. Because I'm locked into Rock Slide now, so I can outspeed and just knock out Zapdos. I think Aegislash probably comes in here. If I had to guess, Aegislash comes in here, and you try to HP Ice Salamence, and you just protect the Zapdos. That was what I would do. So if I expect that, I should definitely protect Mence. And switch out into... I want to switch out into my Aegislash. I'll go into Excadrill. It's the better call, yeah. So I'd be, like, and, I don't know. Zapdos could... Did the Zapdos have Heat Wave? I think it did. It totally could Heat Wave here, but I can't see my opponent just Rock Sliding. Or sorry, letting Zapdos take a Rock Slide. And if I could bait Aegislash into Sword form, then I have the upper hand. Especially with Excadrill in when Tailwind's up. So getting the chip damage off earlier against Landorus would have been nice, because then it'd probably be in like Hyper Voice Assurance KO range, but I can still knock Landorus out with an Ice Punch if Landorus is Intimidate comes out, like before the... Basically if I have Tyranitar out after Landorus. Oh, my opponent actually just Z moves. That's fine with me. Who did that target? I would think the T-Tar slot? Let's see. No, it targeted Salamence. Oh, interesting. Okay. So maybe I eat up a Flash Cannon then? I mean, that's still okay with that. That shouldn't do too much to me when I protect. Yeah. And Aegislash... Flash Cannons? Maybe... I mean, it had Flash Cannon, Shadow Ball, HP Ice if I remember. Yeah, it does Flash Cannon. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have Wide Guard too, which is in my favor. Wow, that does so much still. Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna Hyper Voice for Landorus. I kind of just want to Rock Slide because that covers switch out options, and I don't want to draw run into Aegislash if it's King Shielding here. My opponent could make a great read and just not King Shield with Aegislash, but that seems so risky. But I know there's no Wide Guard. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same QR code team I used on Battle Spot Trouble, which basically revolves around Zapdos Gardevoir. And I do have Aegislash in the back for me, which is still really good for the Gardevoir. And Scarftar obviously is able to outspeed. Oh wow, my opponent actually didn't protect with either. That's crazy. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Because Aegislash could flinch. Single target Hyper Voice is also going to do a decent amount of damage. But it's not going to do enough, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't do enough. And it doesn't flinch. Okay. But his Shadow Ball's the immense. Okay. I'll take that, I guess. So nice play on my opponent. Obviously kind of risky, but works out. I'll still take that, though, because now Aegislash is still in KO range from something. I'll bring in Tyranitar, yeah. Because now I threaten with Scarftar with Ice Punch, and I have the speed advantage. And my opponent doesn't have any Z moves to use at this point. If Gardevoir is the last one, I obviously have the upper hand there as well. And with Landorus coming in, yeah, I think I'm just going to Ice Punch Landorus, definitely. I think Rock Slide Ice Punch probably knocks that out. I'm not too sure, actually, with the Intimidate. Oh, Ice Punch was 75, not 70. Sorry, I was like thinking about that because I'm recording this right after the last episode, in which like a Kangaskhan Ice Punch to Bulu, and I was wondering what did more between Ice Punch and like Return or Facade. So I'm definitely Ice Punching here. It's just like, do I want to like Iron Head as well? Because if Rock Slide Ice Punch doesn't knock out Landorus, I'm screwed. I think I'm gonna Iron Head. I don't want to risk it. I could miss Rock Slide too. Oh, my opponent actually went for it. Is that Gardevoir? Oh, it's Incineroar. Oh, what a read. Oh. I think I lose now, actually. Yeah, it'll be close, actually. So Aegislash faints here. It did choose to Shadow Ball. And if that's banded Landorus, it can only lock itself into one attack. That was a really good read. I came really close to just Rock Slide Ice Punching, but I didn't want to miss. So my opponent played super aggressively with Aegislash, but it worked out. That was a really good play there. I don't know if... I mean, obviously, like, if I just Rock Slide Ice Punch, I win the game. But obviously, if Landorus stays in and Aegislash King Shields, then I lose, if it survives. And I wasn't really sure about the damage rolls there, because I remember the Landorus to be kind of bulky. So what do you do now if you're my opponent? Fake out. I don't think I knock out Incineroar with my Z move either. Fake out Tyranitar, but then what does Landorus do? Knockoff? Or, like, you can't lock yourself into Superpower or knock... you could just Earthquake. But what if I just wide guarded? I'm gonna Ice Punch and wide guard. Because I would just... If my opponent locks himself in an Earthquake, I would win. But there's no Fake Out coming out. Wait, what's gonna happen here? I actually have no idea. Oh, there is Fake Out coming out. Yeah, okay. Forgot about the priority. Does the Earthquake? I'm pretty sure that's Banded Landorus, so I just win now. I'm pretty sure. Wow, what? Okay, let's see. I'm like almost confident it's Banded Landorus. If that's the case, I mean, I just Ice Punch. Clearly doesn't have Tectonic Rage, or if it does, it can't use it. I mean, it was a QR code team, and I used this team. I'm just gonna spam Wide Guard and Ice Punch. Well, let's see. If it uses anything other than Earthquake. I mean, okay, let's see. Oh, I should have just Rock Slided given how... Yeah. Wow. Wow. That was not a game I feel like I should have won. My opponent played really darn well with the Aegislash there. I mean, it was a tough call for my opponent too, right? Because it's like, if I don't Wide Guard, I could just like go for, say, the Ghost Z move to knock out Landers. I feel like you shouldn't lock yourself in an Earthquake, just because not only do you have to worry about Wide Guard, but you also knock yourself out. And that's the main issue. I couldn't deal with the Incineroar. So what I would have considered doing was going for just a... I don't know, it's tough. Like, maybe... Because it's like, if you lock yourself in a superpower, it's basically like, do you think Incineroar can beat the Aegislash one-on-one? Wow, that was an incredible game. Basically my opponent outplayed me at 2 different points. Like, both turns when the Aegislash didn't King Shield. And... looking at how much -2 Ice Punch did to Landorus, I definitely should have just Rock Slide Ice Punch, because I'm even, like, it looked like even at -1 I might have knocked it. I'm not sure, I don't think that's like a definitive, like, oh, I definitely 100% misplayed that turn. And that was the one thing I was really scared of. I thought Gardevoir might have been in the back too, which is why I went for the Tailwind originally, because I was like, oh, if my opponent gets up Tailwind, then Gardevoir can come in and spam Hyper Voice, but there wasn't even a Gardevoir. Incineroar was like the last Pokemon I wanted to see. I did get a crit, but in the end, I guess that didn't end up mattering, because my opponent just kind of KO'd himself, but... that was, yeah, we've had really good games, honestly, and it's really exciting. I mean, I love close games like that, but yeah, that one was definitely nuts. Like, I had an early advantage, but then my opponent played phenomenally well with the Aegislash, and I had to claw my way back into it, really. But overall, yeah, that was one of the games where it was like, it really came down to the ending there, and like, look, I'm definitely, like, given that it was the QR code team, I'm like 100% sure now it was Band Landers. So like, I think that's the head Earthquake, Rock Slide, Superpower knockoff. So I guess there wasn't anything my opponent could have really locked himself into. I think what I would probably do there is just Superpower the Tyranitar. Like, Fake Out Superpower Tyranitar. Or no, sorry, not even. I would Superpower and maybe just go for the Darkest Lariat onto the Aegislash. And then it's a question of whether Aegislash can knock out the Incineroar, and I wasn't sure I really could, because I'm pretty sure it was Assault Vested. And Flash Cannon and Shadow Ball resists both. So... yeah, that was a tough decision for my opponent, and fortunately the Wide Guard ended up working out, but that was crazy. Alright, let's talk about this one. Hitmontop, Landorus, Zapdos, Cresselia, Mawile. So, first Mawile we're facing against, and Feeny. Okay, I think Solomon's Aegislash seems really solid. Part of me actually wants Bulu here in this game. Mawile's really scary, though. Do I want Tyranitar? It still's, like, decent. Maybe I go Rotom-Bulu this time around. Like, but then my matchup against Zapdos is kind of bad. Does my opponent bring Zapdos in against me? I don't know. Oh, what the heck. I'll try a different mode out just because I haven't played with these 4 very often. And I'm kind of torn, so... yeah, I mentioned this before, but I think playing with different modes is also a good way to learn your team, and it forces you to be sometimes more uncomfortable with the situation. And I think that actually helps you prepare, because in best of 3 that happens pretty frequently, where, like, you know, you outlead your opponent game 1, your opponent outleads you game 2, or vice versa, and then game 3, you know, like, you just don't have the upper hand. And I think it's important to be able to play your way out of positions like that. So we see Mawile and Crest, which Aegislash obviously really loves, because I get the initial Intimidate against Mawile, but Aegislash also just threatens both of these Pokemon very, very strongly. So that's a good lead, at least. It's just like, my opponent has got to be scared of Ghost Z, right? So you probably want to switch the Cresselia out. But, what does my opponent have in the back that can take a Ghost Z? Nothing. It's just like, do I want to commit and use it immediately? Kind of do. I'm gonna switch in Rotom because that seems like a pretty good switch in regardless, and I think I will just go for the Go Z because even if it doesn't knock out Cresselia, whatever comes in takes like 75 to 80% damage. Like the bulkier Pokemon like Feeny will take that, and if it's something more frail like him on top, it's just gonna faint. And the thing is, Crest Mawile, like that's not gonna do anything against Aegislash even if Trick Room goes up, which is why Aegislash is just such a strong Pokemon. And it's kind of funny, this is very resemblant of like VGC 2015 because these are all Pokemon that were allowed in 15. The one difference, obvious, is Aegislash being able to Z-move now instead of just running Life Orb like it did back in 2015. So Salamence switches out. That's also good because I conserve Intimidate, which is super important against Mawile. Like decreasing Mega Mawile's attacks through Intimidate is so good. And Cresselia stays in. Okay. I mean, worst case is like what? Helping Hand Sucker Punch, but that shouldn't even knock out my Aegislash. And Mawile, you're not going to Mega Evolve unless you're attacking. Okay. So I get the Go Z off. That should knock out Cress. If this doesn't knock out Cress, I'm quitting Pokemon. Alright, I shouldn't have said that. Maybe Cress hangs on. Let's see. I mean, this is, like, literally one of the strongest attacks. But Cresselia is more especially defensive than offensive a lot of the times. Although, I don't know. Bold, calm, quiet, sassy. You've seen Cresselias throughout the years of all those natures. So it's actually very team dependent. And maybe, I don't know if they can even survive this. Okay, yeah, I was going to say. Alright, no quitting Pokemon for today. Sorry to the haters out there. And just the play rough comes out. Okay. That is very ideal. Oh, that still does so much damage though, jeez. I mean, that's good, because now Mawile is Mega Evolved, so it can't intimidate me, but it is also, more importantly, yeah, it's like Trick Room isn't up anymore. Zapdos does come out though, so my opponent did bring it, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. It probably wants the Tailwind now. My team is not well equipped to deal with Zapdos because I didn't bring T-Tar or Excadrill. So do I want to predict the Tailwind and just like Thunderbolt Shadow Ball? Because I totally could do that. You gotta be worried about Will-O-Wisp right now if you're my opponent. I think the safer play is probably, I'm gonna just Thunderbolt Zapdos. I'm gonna switch Aegislash out into Salamence to get another Intimidate off against the Mawile. Yeah, even though that turn 1 worked out great for me because I didn't bring T-Tar or Excadrill, my matchup against Zapdos is really bad. So I'm still far from in the clear. In fact, I'd say I like my opponent's position more than mine right now with the threat of Tailwind. Oh, Mawile doesn't protect. I could have Will-O-Wisped. Will-O-Wisping it would have been so good for me there. That's a bummer. Wow, Thunderbolt actually does a decent amount. Play rough into Rotom again, yeah. I'll probably just double protect this turn to scout out a little bit from my opponent's end. Yeah, I brought Bulu, but it's not looking like a great pick for me right now. Both Tyranitar and Excadrill would have been better, especially Excadrill. Okay. It's actually like kind of frustrating because the more I think about it, it's like maybe I should have just Go Z'd Mawile turn 1. Like getting rid of Cresselia was nice, but the thing is Cresselia doesn't. That's not like the main offensive threat on my opponent's side. I'm just gonna double protect here to scout out for a Zapdos Z move and see what Mawile wants to go for. Or a Hidden Power Ice from Zapdos, because that totally could have it as well. But Mawile at least is at -2 attack right now, so I've got that going for me. And it does switch out. Ah, I could have burned it. It is Feeny coming in though, so like that's where the Bulu decision makes a little bit more sense. Like I brought Bulu because my opponent had Lander is Feeny. But in retrospect, maybe Bulu wasn't the call. Tyranitar would have been quite nice to have right now. Now I get threatened with knockouts on both Pokemon. But this is a prime time to switch. Okay, there's a Z move. Good. So at least I get the Z move out of the way. And that also confirms that Zapdos is more offensive as opposed to being frail, which is good for me as well. I still have to really properly navigate my way through this game though. And that's the issue with Salamence. Like, actually, Salamence ended up not being a very great call either. It doesn't do much damage, especially against Zapdos Mawile. So maybe, like, bringing T-Tar and Excadrill, like, both of them would have been better. That still does a boatload. Okay. So, I'm definitely switching into Bulu here. What's getting Moonblasted here? We would assume probably Mence. So I'll switch Bulu in, and then Aegislash in the other slot. And the reason why I want to double switch is because conserving Rotom for the Feeny Mawile endgame is important. I'm just mad I didn't get the burn on Mawile when I had a chance to. But the thing is, I can't feel too bad about that just because I know that Zapdos is a really big issue for me because I don't have many ways to hit it. So getting that Thunderbolt off is nice because that damage just adds up. It can't really... It could have Roost. That would be bad. If it has Roost, that would be kind of ugly for me. But we'll see. This game is still really intense. Yeah, like turn 1 worked out quite nicely, but then kind of Zapdos coming in just, ruined my day. So, I don't know. It's tough because it's like maybe Tyranitar Excadrill would have been a better call here, but the matchup itself is just kind of awkward because of Mawile. But now Bulu comes in. Bulu still hits really hard, even against Zapdos because of grassy terrain. So I do have terrain control. And we just see a T-Bolt come out. Yep. Oh, it did target the Aegislash slot. And a Muddy Water. Wow, my opponent Muddy Watered when Rotom was out. I guess, I mean, that covers switch-ins, yeah. But kind of surprising. Is that Specs? Looks like Specs damage, but I'm not sure. Aegislash took way too much damage for my liking. I'll feint from a Thunderbolt. This one's kind of tough. I don't want Trick Room Tailwind to go up again. I think I'm going to aggressively target down the Zapdos slot with a Wood Hammer. I don't think I feint from a Muddy Water here, so my opponent's going to need to double up on stuff. And it's just, like, I could Wide Guard here because it could have Heat Wave, but you've got to be scared of the threat of Wide Guard. Feeny switches out. Okay, that's a good start. So I think I get 1 attack off here, which is good regardless. Oh, it does have Heat Wave. Oh, and he went for it. Okay. That does a lot. Yeah, you can see where the team's like kind of falling apart right now. Oh, Wood Hammer does so much. I think I feint. Oh, no, I don't feint. Okay. This is where the initial burn would have been really nice. Because now I don't have my tools to deal with Mawile, which is really bad. I think I lose. But let me think of a way to try to get out this. I think I kind of need to bring Salamence in. I mean, I do get the Intimidate off against Mawile, but maybe I need to hope for a miss right now. This is really close. What do you do here if you're my opponent? Like, I haven't lost yet, actually, but I really have to think about this correctly. Because I could just Hyper Voice and, like, Horn Leech Mawile. Zapdos could Protect, and Mawile could just play Rough Salamence. Mawile could also just Sucker Punch. If I'm my opponent, I'd probably protect Zapdos and play Rough Salamence. But I'm not my opponent. I want to Horn Leech Mawile for sure, I think. It's just, what do I do with Salamence? Do I think Zapdos is protecting? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to Hyper Voice. Mawile could also miss Play Rough. I think Play Rough still knocks me out in the range I'm at, unfortunately. Oh, gosh. Alright, let's see. Ah, he protected with Zapdos. Yeah, I was so close to protecting Salamence, but, I lose if I protect Salamence and Zapdos just Tailwinds. Darn it! Darn it, darn it, darn it. That's frustrating. That's really sad. Unless Mawile for some reason targeted Bulu, which actually could be the case. In which I could actually win. I very likely could win if that were the case. Or Play Rough misses. Does Play Rough. Darn it! Ah, that was like a 50-50. Like, could have gone either way. Because if I just protect there, then the next turn I go for the same play and I knock out Zapdos. But now I just lose because Zapdos is faster than me. Yeah, it basically came down to that, right? Like, and I was, like I mentioned, if I were my opponent, I would protect. Or, sorry, yeah, I would think about protecting Zapdos and just going for it. But because of that, it's like, I don't know. Like, that feels like there are only two possible plays, right? You protect Zapdos and you attack with Mawile, or you just attack with Zapdos. And the reason why you attack with Zapdos, like, you go for a Tailwind with Zapdos. And if I protect my Salamence while Zapdos gets Tailwind up, then I lose the game as well. So it's like, whoever calls that situation right ends up more or less winning the game. I mean, let's see. I'm not sure I'd actually win the game even if I called it correctly, but I certainly needed to. Unless for some reason I am faster here with Rotom. That should not be the case. Yeah, is there any way out? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think I lose this. A very good game. Very good game overall. And I want to think about how I could have played better after I lose it. I haven't lost yet, so I shouldn't say that, but yeah. That's a heartbreaker. That is definitely a heartbreaker. Yeah, Zapdos just Thunderbolts. I mean, I could have protected Rotom. Gone for a crit Woodhammer. I don't even think a crit Woodhammer knocks out Mawile. Yeah, like, I mean, even if I crit Woodhammer, I knock myself out. So I don't think I had any outs after that turn. But, yeah, I don't know. I was like... It really goes either way there. Just because, like, protecting Mence is pretty obvious and just going for an attack onto the Mawile. And if I do that, like, I still am not in the clear, because then what my opponent can do is switch Zapdos out into Feeny. Although I guess I could just knock out the Feeny if I call the switch in. Yeah, I would Hyper Voice and double, like, would hammer that slot. I don't know. That was a really good game. And I think that goes to show that I got trigger happy just knocking out Cresselia turn 1. But because I didn't have tools to deal with Zapdos, it was a lot, like... And the turn where my opponent got Thunderbolted Muddy Water, that was a really good play, because I could have just kept Rotom in and gone for a Thunderbolt. I'm pretty sure that was Specs Feeny, so that explains the Muddy Water, just to do more damage, and it still maybe knocks out Rotom, even if it doesn't. Like, you're not losing too much mileage from there. So I think my opponent played really well after that first turn, and I think I didn't really set up a very good game plan for the long term, in the sense that it wasn't very well equipped to deal with Zapdos and the sorts. So very, very well played. Yeah, just looking back, like, Mawile was pretty tough for my team to deal with in general as well, just because, yeah, I didn't bring Excadrill. Tyranitar doesn't do much against it. Salamence really doesn't do much against it. Rotom can Thunderbolt, but that's a 3-hit KO. Hydro Pump's a 2-hit KO, but you have to risk missing. Will-O-Wisp, you can't do it as easily when there is a Feeny on the side. And then, what else? Bulu obviously doesn't do very well against it, and Aegislash can... I think, like, looking back, actually, I should have just launched the Z move into Mawile immediately turn 1, just because it's like I need the damage on it, and Mawile was such a big threat, whereas Cresselia wasn't. So even though turn 1 worked out greatly, yeah, like, I knocked out Cresselia, in the long term, that actually doesn't matter too much, because I'm not really worried about Trick Room, right? My opponent's got relatively speedy Pokemon as well. If Trick Room goes up, that actually probably helps me more than my opponent. So I think what I should have done, actually, like, in retrospect, was instead of launching Ghost Z into Cresselia turn 1, just launch it into Mawile. Obviously, the downside there is if Mawile protects, right? But, I don't know. It was kind of... hindsight's easy, obviously 2020, but that was definitely a challenging game, and I think Mawile in general is very difficult for my team to deal with. So, yeah. Really fun game, though, and I would love to play, like, a best of 3 against that kind of team, because I know now, you know, Zapdos is Z-moved, and it's not as bulky. Mawile, and for that, I can focus my attentions more onto Mawile, because I could have Will-O-Wisp Mawile, but I thought surely it'd switch out in the turn that it stayed in, and I wanted the additional damage onto Zapdos, or Protect, because that was the turn my opponent Tailwinded. But yeah, it's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely a tricky game, but we'll definitely recover and rebound from it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you did, leave a like. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace.